Round number 3 of your Wrangler National Finals Rodeo here in Las Vegas, coming to you live from the Virgin Hotel. It's been a great few days, and it just continues to get better each and every round. The rodeo last night was lights out, in every single event, and the storylines are starting to really play out in a big way as well. But obviously, nobody's been bigger on the biggest stage, and Stetson Wright, coming right back and doing it again last night in the bull riding as well as in the bronc riding. So going to be another great day number 3, and right here, bringing you day number 3 here on the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network is none other than Mike McLean here with Apex Next Evolution. Apex Next Evolution is just a great product. Mike is just a fantastic person, a fantastic partner, and I can't wait to kind of dig into their story a little bit, teach you a little bit about their product and where they're at here and how you can basically rehydrate your life, if you will, with Apex Next Evolution. So, folks, Mike McLean, the owner of Apex Next Evolution.
Hey,
Mike,
Code.
so good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man.
I know, especially out here in Las Vegas. The last couple of years had the opportunity to hang out with you a little bit out here, out at your booth and everything.
Yes, sir.
Over the last few years that we've had the chance to work together, you guys have really just continued to grow and people getting the Apex, brand and the products. It's been pretty exciting for you, and I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. This is a community that we were passionate about, and being down here, the Western lifestyle, rodeo, cowboying, ranching, farming, it's a big part of, my background and my partner's background as well. And so to be down here, this is like the Mecca, it's so crazy to me. We're down at the South Point, and anyway, it's just crazy. People from all over the country. I mean, this is what they save up for, and we get to be a part of their experience. And so I love it.
I know, and there's no better vibe anywhere in the world. Like when you come here, and you could come to Vegas 1,000 different times over, but if you're not here during the NFR, it just doesn't have that same feel to it. And yeah, you're right. It is absolutely heaven on earth in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And you guys, you've been over at the South Point for a couple of years.
Yep.
Now,
This is
right?
our 3rd year down there. Yeah.
And you've been working, with a lot of different Western sports events, but doing a lot of great things with the World Series of Team Roping. And
yes, sir.
And what a great spot to be if you're going to be in Las Vegas down at the South Point with those guys.
Oh yeah, no, it's been phenomenal. It's been a great partnership. We really appreciate the WSTR. They've really helped to expand our brand into their community, which then trickles down into individuals and families and other communities around the country. And so the first year that we did it was in 23, and it was interesting. We hadn't ever sold a product into New Mexico, and all of a sudden now we got all these New Mexico cowboys that are in ropers and their families that are enjoying our product. And it's just interesting how one event can, change the trajectory of your company. So we're grateful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's amazing, like your product in general. I mean, I personally have had the opportunity to utilize it now for that 3 to 4 year period, and folks, if you're in some sort of, rodeo environment or outdoors and hunting or just day-to-day life and trying to stay hydrated and be healthy, and there's a multitude of products that they have, and a couple of them that just are big impacts, so if you're at a rodeo arena all day long and it's hot and you're sweaty and it's dusty out and you got to keep competing all day, Apex Next Evolution is a perfect product for that. Myself personally, I utilize the Conquer all the time. The Conquer right here is it's a great resource. I mean, honestly, it's helped me limit any energy drink that I ever take, which I think is honestly, being open about it has helped my blood pressure and different things. And so, if you find yourself a little bit addicted to energy drinks, I highly recommend the Conquer. But tell us a little bit about the products and kind of how it came about.
Yeah. Well, our background story, it's kind of an interesting thing. I was actually, I've been in the dietary supplement space since I graduated from college, and where I ended up finishing school was at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, and they call that area of the world Vita Valley. About 80, I don't know what the exact number is, 70–80% of all dietary supplements in the United States are manufactured along what's called the Wasatch Front up there. And so that's a big industry. And so when I graduated, the first company that I went to work for, it was just a job, but I got it in and started off as just a job. And then little things, one thing led to another. I started to become a little more and more interested and passionate about understanding, kind of what goes into making them. And then my background, a little bit, I played sports and all through high school and college and football. And you know how that is. You played football as well. We were always protein, creatine, we were always taking something, and so it kind of fit into my lifestyle a little bit. But then fast forward to, what was it, like 2017, 2018, I was over in Colorado hunting, and a guy that I'd never met before, his name's Clay Hill, runs Hill Guides and Outfitters. We were, I didn't draw any tags or anything. And so a buddy of mine hooked me up with him, and he and I went out hunting. We just had a great time. And he was using another brand's products while we were driving around in his truck. And I was busting his chops, man. I really was. I was being such a jackwagon and busting his chops about it. Well, over the course of the next several years, he and I, we'd hunt together, and then we started ranching together and doing some things. We became good friends. And one day we were sitting on this big deer, and I know this is probably more details, but the story is always kind of interesting to me, even when I relive it a little bit. We were sitting on this big deer. We were bow hunting a big mule deer, and we were just sitting there talking, waiting for this deer to stand up. And Clay and I were just like, why don't we start our own brand? Because everything else that's out there, their branding's on point. They have, really gangster stuff. But what's in the product itself is not really that great for you, or it's the bare minimum of good stuff. And so in 2022, we said, yeah, screw it, man, let's do it. And that was the origins of how Apex came about. And so in the communities that we're passionate about, obviously Western lifestyle, hunting, fishing, hiking, anything outdoors. I've coached youth sports. My kids are all athletes. My daughter's a college athlete right now. We're all, involved in that kind of stuff. And, what we put in our body is what we'll get out of our body. And so it starts with good supplementation and good food. So anyways, sorry, I know I just said an awful lot right there.
No, I absolutely love it. I mean, how many times have we talked and I didn't know that story, that's when you kind of came up with the idea and the light bulb went off and then the wheels started turning, I mean, that's I love stuff like that. Cause that's all part of what, the American dream or whatever you say, the opportunity to have an idea and come to mind, and next thing you know, you execute, and here you are, almost 4 years later, and now that dream's come to full fruition, and now because you're seeing your product not just in these events and outdoors and things, but you also have got a lot of on job sites too, right? There's a lot like oil rigging or whatever the case may be, right? You got a lot of those guys are exerting their bodies all day, every day. And so, it's so useful. In
fact, we're right here in Nevada, later next week, in the middle of all the Cowboy Christmas and all the festivities that are happening down here. Next week, I have a meeting with Nevada Energy, the largest utility in the state. We're in the process of replacing and becoming their go-to hydration drink for their crew. And it's been a laborious and strenuous process to go through. A lot of those big companies and everything, they have safety requirements. And it's so gratifying to me to know that when I sit down with these big companies and their safety teams and everything, that we not only check every box, but we exceed, what their minimum expectations are for their hydration drinks. And, I'm never going to sit on a show like this and badmouth another company's products or anything. But some of the biggest brands that we all know, they're getting rejected now after they get introduced to our hydration drink or our energy drink, or our recovery drink. And so it's super gratifying to know that, what's taken me over 20 something years of experience, gaining knowledge and expertise in this area is now paying, dividends. I would have never known when I was 25, 30, whatever, that I'd be sitting here at the Virgin with you, with my own company, and having this discussion,
and the opportunity. From a business standpoint, that's the thing that dreams are made of too.
That's right.
It's sky's the limit. Your ceiling is probably a long ways from here.
Yes, sir.
And so
let's hope.
No, absolutely. And then you start flying here on your own plane.
Well, now you're talking. You're talking.
I know. Well, that's shoot for the moon and end up in the stars or whatever they say. But, and then and because it is there. Like I said, I just personally, I utilize it. My family utilizes it every day. Like I said, I use the Conquer a lot of the time, and and that 2 p.m., a lot of times people start getting, a little bit groggy at the end of the day. But it doesn't give you the jitters, anything else. I'm telling you, folks, it's better than anything else you could possibly take. And
they taste good too. That's something I'm real proud of, because a lot of times those energy drinks, they're not the easiest. Some of the ingredients that you use, and ours are all plant-based, and so they're kind of difficult and challenging at times to be able to mask that. And I feel like we've done a really, really good job, being able to do that. We very rarely, if ever, hear somebody go, "Oh man, this doesn't taste very good,"
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of that fact.
Yeah, the flavors are great. And then you have a new product out, right?
Yes, sir.
And did you launch it here or just recently launched it? And tell us a little bit about that.
We're kind of we're trickling it out right now. Our big launch will be online, and everything will be later January timeframe. But we do have at our booth down there at the South Point in the arena. Come and see us and check it out. We are in Vegas, and it's called APE, and that's an acronym, stands for American Party Elixir, and it's an anti-hangover shot.
Perfect.
And I can tell you that has been one of the funnest projects that I've ever worked on. Part of my professional background, I've helped, companies, a lot of big companies develop their own products. And now to be able to start doing this for ourselves and to see the reception that people are having. I mean, yesterday we almost sold out. Yesterday I had to order more from the warehouse. And this is just with the foot traffic, in the early days of the week. And so basically our tagline is first shot of the night. And if you're going to go out, you're going to party, celebrate, have a few cocktails or whatever. Well, no one wants to wake up the next morning with a nasty gut and a headache and, just that, whoa, whatever. And so it took us about 3 years to kind of perfect our formula. But we got it nailed in, got it dialed. And so far, man, we're having really, really, really good results. And so if you're out partying and having a good time, you got to stop by, pick you up some APE, American Party Elixir. It's not available. Our full launch, I guess, will be in January. So it is available on our website right now, apexnextevolution.com. But we have a whole rollout of, it's going to be its own identity, its own brand, and it'll still be under Apex, but we've got some big plans and things for it. So it's freaking awesome. It's just a little shot in a 5-hour energy.
That's amazing, and I'm sure it's doing real well with those team ropers.
Oh man!
Right now.
Well, those guys, they're either celebrating or they're lamenting whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, they're going to need some aid. So.
Yeah, but it's been great so far. We're selling through it like hotcakes. It's awesome, Good. And it's just a little shot in about a 5-hour energy. You just give it a little shake, and basically what it does is it just helps your body metabolize, the alcohol and eliminate the toxicity and toxin buildup that is happening while we're drinking and metabolizing the alcohol. And it kind of front loads your body with all the trace minerals and things that get stripped out. And so it's really clean. It's actually, you could take it every day for liver support. It's not just, an anti-hangover shot, but the fun way to go and market it is not just, hey, look at this, it's liver support, it's liver detox. No, hey, let's go and wake up feeling refreshed and ready to rock and roll and conquer the day. No pun intended with our little conquer, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, so folks, if you find yourself, if you're here in Vegas, and always a good time to go over to the South Point, there is just a boatload of money getting paid out at the World Series of Team Roping, but make sure swing by the Apex Next Evolution booth, get yourself some APE, make sure to help yourself get through the week. But again, make sure to try the Conquer, the Quench, the Recovery. There's multitude of ways that you can help make your life a little bit more beneficial here with Apex Next Evolution. But I'm telling you, Mike, thank you so much. It's been a great time just getting to know you over the last few years.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for you and where you guys are going. And you're also a Utah Team Pinning Cup champion a couple of years ago,
sir.
And one of the great teams over the last few years here with the Utah Team Pinning Cup, and maybe come back and gain your title on that side as well.
Well, that's the hope. I'm excited. I guess we didn't tell everybody, but that's how we actually had met the very first time was 3-4 years ago when we were just getting started. We sponsored that Days of 47 Team Pinning Cup, and that's how I got to know you. And that's been a phenomenal partnership. And to be able to actually sponsor it, but then to be able to participate in the event and then to get to win it in front of my own, that's where I'm from. That was pretty,
almost 12,000 people screaming your name. I mean, that was good.
That was special. I haven't felt that way, since running out of the tunnel in college, and they call your name on the microphone, or the announcers. And so, I'm excited. I like the pennant. It's fun. Be heading over to Denver here for the stock show here, the PBR event. They do a big team pennant during that. So I'm excited getting our teams all put together for that event in January. So should be good.
It will be good, man. Well, good luck with that. And
appreciate it.
Good luck with the rest of the week. And I'm sure, like I said, you might have to reload on that ape again. As people start.
I hope so. Get these guys down and come and see us. We have a pretty cool little booth set up, and come down and try the product. You can sample all the Conquer, the Quench, the Recovery, and then get yourself some ape. I wish I could sample that out, but those they're already sealed bottles, so you can't sample those. But anyways, come on down.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being here. Always a pleasure, man.
You bet, bud.
Good to see you. I'll make sure to get down to South Point and see you before the week's out. But again, folks, make sure if you are here in Las Vegas, you go down to the South Point to watch a little bit of the World Series of Team Roping and watch some of those big checks get paid out. You got to swing by the Apex Next Evolution booth, say hello to Mike, try yourself some of the ape, the Conquer, the Recovery, the Quench. And folks, stay tuned. We're going to be coming to you live here in just about 30 minutes with another special guest. I'm really looking forward to that as well. So it's another great day here at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo here in Las Vegas, coming to you live from the Virgin Hotel. This is another episode of the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network. We'll see you here in about 30 minutes.
Perfect.